All right, so I just want to talk about how to travel on a glacier safely. So we're going to break it down into 3 key points. One is identifying terrain going uphill or downhill, how to rope up, and the decision-making process to decide when to rope up or not to. So how to identify safe terrain to travel in on a glacier is all about identifying where you think a crevasse might be. So I like to use the analogy of an eraser. You know, when you were a kid, you had those soft, squishy erasers that you could bend them to a certain point and then they'd break. Glaciers behave in the same way. Anytime that they're rolling or adjusting over terrain, there's going to be a stress on the surface and it's going to form a crevasse. So the biggest thing, if you can remember one, is convex rolls, right? So when the slope rolls over, same thing in avalanche terrain, right? It's convex rolls are common trigger points. So the same goes for glaciers. That's common crevasse areas. Okay, so here we are on another glacier. Lots of crevasses, a real complex glacier. But you can see, again, the crevasses are formed at anywhere that there's a roll or the glacier bends or a rock is protruding out of the glacier. So anytime that glacier is getting pushed around the terrain, you're seeing crevasses open up. So in terms of finding a safe route up through this glacier, it's really challenging, right? There's no consistent planar benches that you can fill up that you know that there won't be crevasses on. So in this case, it would be almost unanimous that you would put a rope on. You know you're going to encounter a crevasse pretty much in any place that you go. So the 3 factors that you have to consider when deciding to rope up or not to is, the big one is your familiarity with the area, right? Is this a new zone, or do you ski here every single weekend? You know exactly where every crevasse is. The second is the weather, right? Can you see? Is it a bluebird day or is it completely white out? And then lastly is the amount of snow on the glacier, right? Later in the season, we have a deep snowpack and the snowpack is really well settled, so it's bridging over those crevasses. So the decision-making process to decide whether to rope up or not is really situational. So on a day like today, we've got good visibility, really familiar with the area, and we have a really deep snowpack. So our confidence level is quite high, where if it was completely white out, our confidence level would be a lot lower. The same thing would be if it was early season, bluebird, you know the area, but there's only 1.5 meters on the snow, our confidence is gonna be way low. So these are questions that you just have to ask yourself, and every time you go out and try and make that decision, you have to answer those 3 questions with as much experience and knowledge as possible. So if you consider those 3 factors, and you can properly identify where to travel on a glacier, I hope that your next venture out on a glacier is a lot safer and smoother.